guys, what's going on? It's Stef here. I hope you've been well. I know I have, and it's time for another metal detecting relic hunting adventure. In this week's episode, I am back to metal detecting cellar holes in the middle of the woods. This particular site has been so fruitful that I just had to go back. I mean, honestly, who leaves a good site and never goes back? Nobody. So I found myself at a late 1700s to early 1800s homestead, which has now been reduced to a pile of rubble. And little did I know, I was about to find what is probably my oldest relic apart from any native artifacts. So without offering any more spoilers, let's hop in. I am back out at one of my very favorite sites today, showing you the nondescript portions for a reason, of course, because I want to keep it to myself. And I just got a beautiful target right here next to this rock. It's not very deep, but that doesn't always seem to matter out here, so we're going to go for that. There is definitely a reason that this is my favorite site currently. Well, but 2 to 3 inches in the ground. I just got it out. We have a massive dandy button. Let me see if I can get up and get in the sun. Stand by. It's always tough when you're dealing with sun and shade. So let's see what we've got here. Almost looks like there's something in the center, but I can't really make it out. Oh wait, there's some sun. Come on. Show me an eagle. That would be incredible. Let's see, do we have a shank? No, it's been broken off. But this is definitely an 18th century coat button. We call them dandy buttons in the hobby because generally they're very fancy. So in any case, oh, there's the pattern. I think I have a match to this from here. Oh, I'm pretty sure I do, and it's beautiful if that's what it is. So let me properly brush this off, and I'll come right back. What a way to start. Well, there's my button cleaned up to the best of my ability right now. And now I'm not convinced that I have a match to this one. I did have one from out here with this same edge pattern. And it was kind of just like this squiggly, really cool design in the center. But I can't see if that's how this is going to clean up. Again, no shank, but what a wonderful first target. And as I was filming this in the sun, because I moved away from my detector a bit, under that tree there, this really doesn't show depth very well, but that is a well, and it's one that I haven't noticed out here before. So, considering I'm not right on top of the site that I normally hunt when I'm here, we might have a double, which would be incredible. It gives me some new land to swing the coil over. Hopefully find more of these and even more exciting things. Back with you on the next. I am right in the middle of an old cart path right now. You can see the stone walls to my left and my right, kind of moving between sites. I just got a beautiful target. Let's get it out of the ground. And here she lies. Not more than maybe 2 or 3 inches in the ground. We have, whoops, yet another button. No shank on this one, and it's too corroded to see if it's got a back mark, so still, great find. We'll put it in the pouch, and we'll keep on going. Might have a good one here, we shall see. Pretty consistent, looks fairly deep. We have to find out what that is. Well, that's par for the course now, isn't it? Couldn't go without digging one of these. We have a musket ball and poor lighting. Always love digging a good musket ball. That hit something very hard, probably the rock that was in the hole that I had to remove to retrieve this. But awesome. I'll always take one of those. Got a pretty good signal right up against this rock wall. I'll take a look and listen. Sizable target. Hopefully it's a good one. Well, I'm not convinced that this was my target, although I could have been swinging over it at a funny angle and just hoping that it was not iron. Pretty deep down there. Started picking up these really thick pieces of pottery. Probably salt glazed, so more than likely 1700s. Another piece of it right here. And then this would make sense to be in the same hole with pottery. This is an old two-tine fork. Not sure exactly how old. I mean, probably late 18th century, early 19th. And it's missing quite a bit of it. I mean, it doesn't have the side scales on it, which would have been bone or wood. I'm suspecting the ones for this were wood because the bone scales tend to not disintegrate. But I do save all of these two-tine forks. I just think they're so cool. And if it so happens that there's another target down there that I just haven't picked up yet, I'll let you know. But otherwise, that's a really great relic. Happy I dug that. All right, loud and proud signal right on the edge of the cart path. I already moved away some of the leaf litter so I could hear it better. We'll take a look. Let's check it out. I am so glad I filmed that target, guys. And I'm so glad I fought through this huge root ball. You have no idea. I had to take my pocket knife out, cut that, move a bunch of rocks, and then I saw what it was, and I put it back. And it's really old. It's what I think it is. Oh, you see that down there? This tiny little buckle. Oh my God, does that still terminate or is it? Oh no, it's falling apart. Thank God they're all together though. Holy crap. That is so old. So old. Let me get this in the sun for you. Oh, okay, the rest of the stud might be in there too since it's coming apart. This is a very, I mean mid to late 1600s shoe or spur buckle. I have been wanting one of these forever. I had no idea how tiny they were. I mean, it practically fits on my index fingertip. Oh my God. And it's all together too. I mean, like I said, it's falling apart, but it's all brass. I'll be able to display that all together. I've got to recheck the hole for the rest of the stud, but that's what's giving me the age indication on this. And what I'm going to do is I will put a picture on the screen right now from my buckle book to show you the sincere age of this piece. This is one of my favorite finds of the year. Hands down, this already makes my day. Oh my Lord. Okay, let me calm down a little bit, recheck the hole, see if the rest of the stud is there, and then I'll come back with this brushed off. But that to me is an absolute treasure, a treasure of a find. Whew. Okay, be back in a second. Well, there you have it. My crown jewel of the year of buckles. I've dug a number of colonial buckles this year, but this is my oldest buckle find ever. I really cannot stress how stoked I am about this. I rechecked the hole, couldn't hear the little stud that's missing with the pin pointer, but I'll check it with the big beep stick in a moment. I'm speechless. I know this place has the age for it, but I've been really wanting a buckle of this age for so long, basically since I started the hobby, and it's just incredible. I mean, like I said, this is disconnected now, but that's because the pin that ran through the tongue and the stud shape and the frame was iron, so that is long gone, but we're left with this beautiful brass or bronze piece here, and again, just absolutely incredible, and I'm so glad the innards are intact so that we can firmly date this, because if they weren't, I could be 50 to 100 years off. Not 100 years, but that just absolutely confirms 1600s all day. And you guys know buckles are my absolute favorite finds, so I couldn't be more amped up for the rest of the day and see what it has to hold. I would be shocked if I top this find. Simply incredible. Well, I got around a 69 to maybe 75 signal on the Manticore. I didn't film it because I can actively hear somebody hunting, and it was fairly shallow. Thought it was actually going to be a beer can. It was tracing really large. But we have the ubiquitous ox knob. Let me get in the light for you. For some reason lately, it seems like I'm always in the shade for my recovery of the artifact. So this would have gone on the end of an oxen horn in order to prevent them from injuring people and damaging things. These are still in use today from what I understand. And normally there is a hole in this side, although it's not typically that far up. That might just be pitting from corrosion. But there will be a hole up. But that's so weird. Huh. Anyway, as I was saying, there'd be a hole in the side so that you could pin that into the horn. It might actually be right here. Yeah, that's where it is. These are just bangs and dings from over the time. So that is pretty cool. It has a nice little line ornament right there. And, you know, some of the later ones are octagonal in shape on the top. This one's completely round, so it could be older. It could be, you know, mid-1800s and back, possibly 1700s. So nice relic. We'll keep moving. Well, this was certainly a surprise. About 6 inches down there. I didn't film the target because it was only ringing up an 18. And I kind of have a new rule to myself. If it's a 20 or under, I don't really film it because usually that's ammunition. But this was not. Take a look at this right here. I think this is part of a colonial era shoe buckle. And if so, that would have been so massive. Absolutely massive. Let me see if we can see a pin terminal anywhere. Huh. Maybe that's not what it is. It's like crumbling in my hands. It must be pewter. Let me brush that off and come back. It's going to be a beautiful piece no matter what it might be. Well, there you have it. I am fairly certain that that's pewter. And I do think it's part of a shoe buckle frame because we can see kind of a hole there that's been worn through. That's part of where the pin terminal was. And it's such a shame. I've said it so many times, but I really don't like pewter because it just does not hold up well in the ground. A few more years, this probably would have been an unrecognizable piece of metal. So I will get home, seal it up, display it with my other buckled frame pieces, and enjoy it for what it is. I didn't hear anything else anywhere near it, so not sure where the rest of it has gone, but that's always the mystery when we find pieces of shoe buckles. It's like they exploded or something. I mean, it could be because we have frost heaves in New England, and other pieces could have been dug by other detectorists, and they just didn't find this piece, but who knows? Always a mystery. Welp, pretty sure I just found the rest of it. The other piece was right here, and take a look. Sizable sound to it, similar numbers from the other piece. We'll see if it's the complete rest of the buckle or if it's just another piece of it. Well, it's not the entire buckle, at least not so far, but I did just get another piece of it here. Oh, wow, that would have been such a fancy one. Such a shame. And I think I know how it broke apart. Oh, wow, you can really start to see the design there as the sun decides to cooperate. I think what broke this is there are so many huge rocks in the hole, a lot of roots that grew through things. So I'm thinking over time, I don't know, maybe an oxen came by and stepped on the rock that this was hiding under and smashed it. I have no idea, but I'll keep poking around. If I find more pieces, I will certainly let you know. But otherwise, we'll move on to the next. And the most exciting signal of the day goes to I am really excited about that one. Hopefully it's not a letdown. Well, it certainly is not a complete letdown. Full disclosure, I am on my way out of the woods, saw an area that looked interesting, decided to swing around, and that's when I got the target. I just pulled it out. And I believe we have part of an old match safe, or possibly a lighter, I'm not sure. I don't think it's heavy enough to be silver, but I haven't really cleaned this off yet. There's some kind of etching there, which could be really cool. I mean, this thing is destroyed, but I'd really like to see what's on there, so I'm going to spray it off, and I'll come back. All right, well, it certainly doesn't look like much because I just don't have a lot of water on me right now, so I couldn't get this all the way clean. But it might be solid silver. I can't see anywhere that the plating, if it is plating, is flaking. And considering what terrible condition it's in, that should be showing. This part pulls at my heartstrings. There is a very crudely inscribed B, and that is the initial of my mother's maiden name, which was Bowman. That is so cool. It kind of looks like this got thrown into a fire. I do think it's actually a lighter, just, based on this little hole here and these mechanisms on this side. I mean, it's tough to make heads or tails of it, but that's definitely a B. And that is so cool to me. I know it looks like a piece of crap-a-roni to you guys, but if it's silver, I mean, I really think it is silver. I'm going to call it. This is a piece of silver. Look, I know you're all excited and stuff, Stef, from the past, but that's aluminum. Although I will tell you, this does get more exciting, so stick around. What a random find to end the day. That is too cool. I will certainly post pictures of this as cleaned up to the best of my ability, hopefully with an idea of how old this is exactly. I mean, that B looks ancient, but I guess today if I were to inscribe my initials on something, it would probably look just that crude. So, but wow, it was very unexpected. And this, it almost looks like there's a deer on this. I really can't see yet, but again, I will put pictures on the screen if I haven't already done so. Really cool find, very unexpected, and just goes to show you should always swing in places that make you curious. That's awesome. Okay, so we have established that this is not a silver lighter like I originally thought in the field. It is in fact aluminum. This is a vintage Storm King lighter, or at least what remains of the case, and although I don't have a precise age on it, I can tell you it's been dropped within the last 50 years more than likely. Now, a couple of things on this piece are really interesting to me. Number one, you saw that inscribed B when I was in the field, and I said it looked like maybe there was a deer or something on the other side, but it turns out it was the letter R. So this person's initials were either BR or RB. One of the two, right? But here's something I didn't notice after cleaning it until I really looked into more online examples and said, oh, So I'm gonna put something on the screen for your consideration right now. I know, it doesn't look like much because it's just an intact aluminum Storm King lighter. Not very exciting, right? Well, if I size up the photo of my lighter on that same side of the lighter, look at what we have here. Those little circles are not supposed to be there. It is not part of the manufacturing process. So guys, let me hear it. What do you think happened? If you said somebody took a 22 cal to that, I think you're correct. How cool is that? That's probably why it's in such crummy shape to begin with. Somebody used this as target practice. The lighter on the inside of this case probably burst, leaving us with a real piece of junk that I somehow find very, very interesting. So I know it's kind of an awkward place to end the video because I just yapped for like 2 minutes about this aluminum lighter, but this is where that day ends. And what a phenomenal day it was. A mix of 1600s relics, 1700s, and a modern piece that has quite an interesting story to tell. So with that, I really hope you have enjoyed this episode. And if you have, and you've made it this far but haven't already done so, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos from me in the future. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Happy hunting, and we'll see you next time.